The morning air crackled with tension as headlines flashed across Manila, near collision at sea. Philippine, Chinese ships locked in standoff near Pagasa Island. For hours the nation held its breath. Naval officers aboard a Philippine supply boat watched as a Chinese Coast Guard vessel veered dangerously close. Only sharp maneuvering and steady nerves averted disaster. The incident, caught on video, quickly went viral, stirring emotions from Malacanang Palace to the smallest fishing village. The waters around Pagasa Island, known internationally as Thitu, have seen many tense moments, but this was different. The Chinese ship came within meters, radio warnings blared, onlookers feared a repeat of past clashes. This time, no shots were fired, but the message was clear. The West Philippine Sea is on edge. Newsrooms scrambled for updates. Social media exploded with outrage, concern, and calls for action. The near accident was more than a maritime mishap. It was a stark reminder of the region's fragile peace. As the world watched, the Philippine government condemned the dangerous maneuvers. China, as usual, blamed the Philippines for provocations. The standoff set the stage for a larger contest, one that extends far beyond these choppy waters. The West Philippine Sea is no longer just a local issue. It's a global flashpoint. Journalists, diplomats, and military strategists track every movement here. The stakes are high, not just for Manila and Beijing, but for the entire Indo-Pacific region. Each close encounter, each new construction, echoes through capitals from Washington to Tokyo. Why does the world care so much? This stretch of sea is a vital artery for global trade. Billions of dollars worth of goods pass through these waters every year. Any conflict here could disrupt supply chains and send shockwaves through the world economy. Beyond commerce, the West Philippine Sea is a test of international law. It's a place where old rules are being challenged by new ambitions. China's growing presence has alarmed its neighbors and drawn in outside powers. The US, for example, regularly conducts freedom of navigation patrols to challenge Beijing's sweeping claims. For Filipinos, the tension is deeply personal. The sea is their heritage, their livelihood, and their front line. For the rest of the world, it's a barometer of peace, or the next big crisis. At the heart of this drama lies the Spratly Islands. Scattered across the West Philippine Sea, these tiny rocks and reefs are fiercely contested. China claims almost the entire area, using its 9-dash line. The Philippines, Vietnam, Malaysia, Brunei, and Taiwan all assert their own rights. Why so much interest in these specks of land? The answer is resources. Beneath the waves are rich fishing grounds and possibly vast reserves of oil and natural gas. Control over the Spratlys means control over food, energy, and wealth for generations. But it's not just about resources, it's about power. Whoever holds these islands can project military strength across Southeast Asia. China has spent years building artificial islands, complete with airstrips and missile batteries. The Philippines, with far fewer resources, has struggled to keep pace. The struggle for the Spratlys is a test of will and endurance. It pits international law against brute force. And nowhere is this contest more visible than on Pagasa Island. For decades, Pagasa was a lonely outpost. Soldiers and a handful of civilians braved storms, isolation, and supply shortages. The island's airstrip was little more than gravel. The port was a simple pier. Yet for the Philippines, Pagasa has always been a symbol of its claim. That is changing fast. Today, Pagasa is transforming. The Philippine government has launched a wave of construction projects. New facilities rise where once there was only sand and scrub. The island is becoming a military and civilian hub, a forward base in the heart of the contested sea. This transformation is not just for show, it's a statement of intent. The Philippines is here to stay. Every new building, every improved road, is a brick in the wall of sovereignty. The island's population is slowly growing as families and workers join the soldiers. Pagasa's rise is both practical and symbolic. It's a message to China and the world that the Philippines will not be pushed aside. Pagasa's facelift is, honestly, dramatic. The runway, which was once battered and unreliable, has been rebuilt from the ground up. Now it can handle larger aircraft, even when the weather turns bad. This means faster resupply and, better emergency response. The port has also been expanded, so bigger ships can dock safely. Supplies, troops, and civilians are now able to move much more easily. New barracks offer shelter and a bit of comfort for soldiers stationed there. Plus, modern communications equipment keeps everyone connected to headquarters in Palawan and Manila. Surveillance gear is always watching the surrounding waters, ready to report any suspicious movement. All of these upgrades really do boost the island's defense and morale. Civilians are seeing the benefits too. The government has built new homes, a school, a health clinic, and even a solar power station. Children can now study without fear. Families finally have clean water and reliable electricity. These changes make life more bearable and honestly, a lot more hopeful. The improvements are still ongoing. Each new structure is both a shield against isolation and a sign of determination. Because it's no longer just a military post, it's really becoming a growing, living community. Why invest so much in a tiny island? For Manila, the answer is simple: sovereignty. International law favors those who can prove effective occupation. By building up Pagasa, the Philippines strengthens its legal claim under the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, or UNCLOS. Every new facility, every civilian household sends a signal. The Philippines is not just talking, it is acting. Unlike China's militarized artificial islands, Pagasa is open to journalists, diplomats, and even tourists. Transparency is a powerful tool in the battle for legitimacy. The upgrades are also a response to China's growing presence. Beijing has built sprawling bases on nearby reefs. Its ships shadow every Philippine move. But by improving Pagasa, the Philippines is showing quiet defiance. It is asserting its rights, not with threats, but with progress. Symbolism really matters in geopolitics. Pagasa stands as a beacon of Filipino resolve. It tells the world, we are here. We belong. Life on Pagasa is not easy. The threat from China is always present. Ships patrol nearby waters, drones buzz overhead, tensions can flare with little warning. Every supply run, every fishing trip carries risk. The recent near collision was only the latest in a long line of close calls. The psychological toll is real. Soldiers and civilians live under constant surveillance. They know they are watched. They know a misstep could spark a crisis. Yet they carry on, fishing, farming, and sending children to school. There are legal battles as well. China dismisses the 2016 International Tribunal ruling that favored the Philippines. Every day, Manila must assert its rights, both on the water and in the courts. The struggle is as much about paperwork and diplomacy as it is about ships and guns. The risk of escalation is always there. One mistake, one accident could trigger conflict. That is why the world is watching and hoping for restraint. The Philippines is not alone. Its strategy combines occupation, transparency, and alliances. By keeping Pagasa open and inhabited, Manila strengthens its legal position. By inviting journalists and diplomats, it shows the world it has nothing to hide. But the key pillar is the alliance with the United States. Recent years have seen renewed military cooperation. American ships and planes regularly visit the area. Joint exercises send a clear signal to Beijing aggression will not go unanswered. Manila also works with other partners, Japan, Australia, and the European Union. The message is unity. The West Philippine Sea is not for the taking. International law and multilateralism are the best defenses against bullying. Still, the road ahead is tough. The Philippines must balance assertiveness with caution. It must defend its rights without sparking war. This is the art of survival in the new Cold War of the South China Sea. Daily life on Pagasa is a mix of hardship and hope. Children play by the beach, watched by soldiers. Fishermen haul in their catch, always alert for foreign ships. Teachers hold classes in new schoolrooms. The community celebrates fiestas, even as they scan the horizon for trouble. The new infrastructure has improved lives. Electricity is more stable, water is cleaner, medical care is closer. Yet, the sense of danger never fades. Residents know they are on the front line of a national struggle. But there is also pride. Pagasa's people see themselves as guardians of the nation's future. Their presence is a living claim, a proof that the Philippines is more than lines on a map. It is people, land, and spirit. The fate of Pagasa matters far beyond its shores. If the Philippines can hold its ground, it sets a precedent for other small nations facing big neighbors. If it falters, the rules of the sea and the balance of power in Asia could change forever.